This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Alcohol does damage the brain, but I don't know if it went that far with them already. I don't know. I drink a lot. I'd like to think that I'm not like that.
And co-host Marnie Winfield.
Sometimes there's a very small window that if something doesn't happen and there isn't action made in that short period of time, that it might not happen, maybe not ever again.
It is the 9th of August, 2022. My name is Corey Winfield.
My name is Marnie Winfield.
Welcome to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Isn't today the anniversary of the bomb drop on Hiroshima?
Is it? You're the history guy.
It's one of those. It's a day that a lot of people are probably like, ooh, you know, if I lived in Japan, or if you lived in Japan, honey, if we lived in Japan, we'd probably remember this day. You know, but I think a lot of people in America just walk around like, yeah, August 9th, bro, 2 days before payday. Yeah, it's great. I know that would suck. And you were reading, I think it was memes earlier, and you said something about some woman was having a baby or something like that. And, oh, I just went through hell doing that. Or what was it again?
It was, they were funny texts that had either emojis or, and it was one where a lady had posted a picture of her newborn child. And she said, I just went through 7 hours of hard labor. Welcome my 7-pound, 2-ounce little girl. And then the response was, World War II was hard. Yeah.
But it's true, you know, like some of the things that we go through. And yeah, like that's kind of one extreme to the other. You know, I think we kind of understand what the woman was going through. Like, hey, this is crazy. You got a baby now. But yeah, you know, putting it in context of World War II or having a baby, which one's harder? Well, clearly. But sometimes it takes those moments to kind of bring it back home. You know, sometimes we can get so wrapped up in our own world that, you know, we forget that we're not the center of the universe.
Right.
You know, we're the center of our universe. But, you know, my problem today doesn't reflect really anybody else but me. You know, it's my problem. Yep. But there are world issues, and there are world issues that we can't do anything about, unfortunately. You know, but being in recovery, the only thing we can control is whether we drank today or used today, you know, and the rest kind of comes second. And as soon as someone who is in early recovery can kind of grasp that and get a hold of that, I think the easier it is for them. I saw somebody on Facebook the other day, David, and he posted something about the stars and the moon, and we're getting lied to by the government. And I'm just like, bro, like, you're thinking too hard. You know, and I know back in the day he had some struggles. So, I mean, I hope he's good now. But those little things like that. And Rob, who used to be on the podcast, he would get so worked up over the dumbest shit that he had no control over. And just, you know, he would lose his mind. And I used to love antagonizing him. But for real, though, you know, I call it torture therapy. That's what I provided him. But, you know, it's easy to lose sight of what's important at the end of the day. And being in early recovery, that is number one. You know, if you're in treatment or been through treatment or know somebody, they might have said, you know, my treatment comes first. You know, it does. You know, your recovery does come first. And if it doesn't, well, keep going till you get it right. Because I've never seen anyone put their recovery like last and make it.
Right.
You know, even third or fourth. Well, I got to do this, I got to work, and then I got to do that. No, like you have to be sober. That's what you do. And talked to a friend of mine, Jamie Kelly, today. And he was like, yeah, I don't go to as many meetings anymore. And he's like, it's not that I don't like meetings. He's like, I go because I like being around people like that. But he's just working so much. You know, but he's also, when he's working, he's talking about recovery. So I told him, yeah, like when I was super busy driving people all the time to treatment, I didn't go to hardly any meetings. You know, there were months where I didn't go to meetings. But when I was driving people, I was essentially having a meeting.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking recovery, and it was number one for me still. So it wasn't like I'm not going to go to a meeting. I'm not just going to do absolutely nothing. And it's different, so don't let people put it on you like that either. Like if you're busy, like my friend Jamie, who's working, he's not hitting meetings. First of all, I'm not a sponsor. I'm not his sponsor. So I'm not going to bust his balls over that. And it's Jamie's life. He can do whatever he wants. But when I see that he is doing the stuff that pretty much you would be doing at meetings, it's like, okay, and I would kind of relate that to talking to a therapist as well. Are you talking to your therapist? Obviously, the people he's talking to in his job are not therapists, but you get that off your chest. And you can free yourself from that. And it's, for me, a huge part of why I'm sober today. I use the podcast. I get stuff off my chest. I go to meetings. I get stuff off my chest. I talk to my wife. I get stuff off my chest. Need to talk to my therapist. It's been a minute.
And I think it has to do with being honest with yourself, first off, is if you're telling yourself, oh, I do enough of that in X, Y, or Z, or if it honestly does, what I'm going to say, fill your recovery tank, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, my job is recovery. Like, I work all day long. From the second I go into work, I'm talking recovery. And so a lot of it is beneficial to me, helping people through their journey and, doing problem solving and conflict resolution and all that kind of stuff is helpful to me as well. And so I do, but I mean, I need meetings too, I still do. And I still need to go to church, and I still need to do my daily prayers, and I still need to talk to my coworkers and talk to my husband and, talk to other people in the program. And that's right. I mean, as long as you're doing what you need to do to stay clean and sober, that's what's important. Nobody's journey is the same as one another's. Like you don't have a routine that is like, this is the way to do it. And if you do it this way, then for sure you're going to stay clean and sober. Everyone's different.
For sure. I've been putting some stuff off today and yesterday. And I didn't realize I've been really putting it off until I drove to get the mail at our apartment complex. I jumped in the car and I went, would you say that's about 300 feet?
Yeah, it's not even a quarter mile. That's okay though.
I was in a hurry.
Okay.
But I was pulling back into the spot, and that's when I realized, I was like, man, the reason why I'm not finishing this video, because I recorded Adam Newth for August Recovery Spotlight. Mm-hmm. And it was great. The things he said was wonderful. I think it's going to be awesome. But the background that I bought, it looks so cheap. I need a sound effect for that. Because I don't know. And it's more about the message, sure. But I just don't, I don't know. And I can't have Adam redo it. We spent like an hour and a half, like it was pretty much him waiting for me to like put up all my crap.
I think that you need to not sweat the small stuff, and that the content is what is important, and you're a perfectionist. And
that's what's up.
I think that it looks great. And I think you just need to, you do this, you procrastinate because you are looking for exactly what, it's not going to ever be that way. It's good and it's going to be appreciated. And the message is the most important thing. So just got to post it.
Yeah. I thought about like, I could just put a picture of him up.
What?
And then like just play the audio.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know what is wrong with you right now.
That'd be worse.
Absolutely. Adam, it's great. It
is great. The things that Adam said was great, but like I said, like the screen that I use, like I don't know, the first time I'm using it, and
I think it's great.
Trying to add different effects on it. And I'll show you this part. I don't know if it'll let me pull it up while we're recording in this, but we'll find out. Let me see, I'm going to just show you. Oh yeah, this part here.
What did I have? The background of the studio?
Yeah.
Like with like a blanket and the back of the chair?
Yeah.
What was so great about that?
It just looked normal. Like this looks like fake. It looks superimposed or something. But let's watch.
I'm in Detroit, but I lived most of my life around Lansing. I lived here in Traverse City for 4.5
Okay.
years now.
I'm showing her the picture. He's talking about Traverse City, and I went and took the old drone out today. You can see Lake Michigan or whatever.
I have been clean since September 1st.
I don't know. We'll see if, I don't know. But I just think it looks really super cheap, and I just don't want people to think that that's Adam did that. You know, I mean, I don't know, but I don't want them to think that we're doing cheap stuff either. You know, like, I don't know. I'm just.
You're way overthinking this. Like,
I probably am.
Times a million.
But I realized that as I pulled in from getting the mail. I was like, I think I'm purposely finding it not good enough.
You don't think it's acceptable?
No, I don't. And I don't know what else to do.
I think
You know, do I just run with it and like, nope, I live and learn?
Do you want to show it to him and get his approval before
I don't
you?
know. But I mean, I feel like I wasted his time then. And the stuff he said was really good, and I love that. And that should be the main focus, right?
You're gonna post it. It's gonna be posted. Don't worry about it, people. We got it. I'll take care of this.
I got some drone footage in there, even. I don't know. Yeah. Tomorrow I'm busy though. I can't. I'm busy, honey. I gotta go to Pontiac.
Okay.
And then I gotta come back, and I'm supposed to go to Charlevoix with George. I haven't seen George in forever. See how he's doing. He wants to go hit a meeting.
Tell him I said, what's up?
He was like, Charlevoix, I will. And then Tom, the guy who tried to kill me with worms in the candy.
All right.
I forget about you, Tom. No, but Tom, I like Tom a lot. I haven't seen Tom in forever. Tom, and myself, we went to lunch one day.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably a couple years ago. But yeah, that's the thing about AA meetings, you know, to see these people that I haven't seen in a long time. And unfortunately, when I went back home, you and I went back downstate, and I went to a couple meetings and people had passed on. You know, that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey. And ironically, one of the guys' name was Tom. I'm like, where's Tom? They're like, hey, he's dead. I'm like, oh. And then the other guy, Wally, he had one arm. They said he was gone too. The Kevin guy told us that. And it's like, dang.
Mm-hmm.
But
they all passed away sober. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So I reached out to Tom the other day and was like, hey, Georgia wants to come to a meeting. You still holding them there? And he said, yeah, they're at Ferry Beach on Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Nice.
So I was like, all right, I hope I can be there. And I was like, hey, can you do this ride? I'm there at 2. I said, no. I'm there before then because I got to do stuff. They're like, okay. Doesn't matter to me. I'm like, all right, cool. So, yeah. So the video won't be done tomorrow. Do I need to just set a date?
Yeah.
And say Saturday it will be done?
Okay.
By Saturday it will be done.
All right.
So look for Adam's controversial. It's not really. I mean, the only controversial thing is just I don't like the background.
It's Corey's problem, not yours.
Look for the earth-shattering controversial video coming Saturday.
It's awesome.
217recovery.com. It'll be on our app as well. On our app, you just pull up 217 Recovery app and then go to videos. It's like on the bottom. You can see Marnie's, Justin's, Tyrone's, and then you'll see Adam's. But I want to start doing more of those videos if I can find the right background. I'll just use normal stuff. I should have sent those backgrounds back. There you go. Just kidding.
I would say so if you're that displeased with them.
I don't know. There's probably a way to do it, but I don't know. We'll see. But I did come to that realization. So I was proud of myself.
Good.
Because otherwise, 2 weeks from now, I could have been just going through the same thing. Well, I don't like it either. But to actually understand and realize what you're doing sometimes is, they say, half the battle.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you walk around not knowing that there's a battle going on, then you don't even know. So you'd rather have half the battle won than quarter of the battle. I'm just mumbling. I'm just rambling, mumbling and rambling at the same time. Whatever. It's our podcast. We can do that.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of it. It's not brought to you by nobody. It's brought to you by my mama and your mama.
Mm-hmm.
And your dad and my dad. My dad's moving back to the area. Sort of. Not the area where we live in. But it'll be a lot easier to see him. he used to live in Mesa, Arizona, right outside Phoenix, and they moved back to the Midwest.
It's going to be super close.
Yeah, so that's something that's cool. And if you've been listening to the podcast for a while or whatever, like you probably heard me talk about the relationship I didn't have with my father. And then as I started to realize, okay, I need to write him a letter. Like I need to be the bigger man. I need to be the way I want to be, not any other way, not holding grudges and accepting the part that I played in it and apologizing for that, but moving on and moving forward. And I'm so glad that I did. And I handled it in a pretty good way, actually. It turned out better than what I had thought it would. And I don't know, it was a really good, mature way to handle things. And it took me 2 years to sit down and write it,
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you that took a lot out of you to actually like follow through with reaching out to him again. And I didn't know, what was going to actually, if he was going to write back at all, what he was going to say. And it was like, but it was tearing you apart. And I think it's something that you knew you needed to do regardless of, what the response was. And it turned out to be wonderful, and you guys, in whatever differences and issues there were, I mean, they're, in the process of repair because you're connected again.
Yeah, nobody's perfect. A lot of times we hold our parents to like this false sense of right, or like we just hold them on we hold them on like this platform to like a higher standard than most people because they're our parents, and you realize they're just people too. They make mistakes, and I made mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, and nobody's a perfect parent. That's just facts.
And lots of times too, when we're children, we don't really know, everything, all the dynamics of what's going on, in our family's lives.
Right.
We really don't. Or even remember too. If you're that young, you want to go back to people that are like, F my dad, he just up and left, or my mom. We don't really know the circumstances surrounding it. We hear whatever we were told. And, so, I mean, I commend you immensely for having the strength to do that. And you did it for you, you did it for you and your relationship with your dad, but to have that kind of resolve on, because it was just dangling, and you had to know that you did everything you could on your end to repair that, and it turned out to be amazing.
And say, like, if a parent has to leave the situation, and again, don't know, and you can hear both sides of the story, but again, that's not the point. They could leave, say, when you're 15. One of the parents leave, mom, dad, whatever. I'm just making, and you're mad. And who knows why? Maybe job. Maybe
they didn't want me, or they didn't love me, or whatever.
Certain pity parties. Then maybe sometimes the other side of this, well, he just left because he doesn't love you. And maybe that's getting fed into the brain too. Who knows? But then you turn 18, 19, 20, 21. You're going to, okay, so it's been 5, 6 years, 7 years. And you're going to hold that grudge still? Like you're going to live till 60. I mean, you have a lot of time left. And for one mistake, you can say a mistake, or you could maybe not want to understand the reasoning, maybe want to understand the reasoning.
Too. That's fair.
But you think, like, why would you lose what could be 50 years of greatness for a couple years of mistakes, or not even knowing the real story or understanding the point of view or where they were coming from, or why they made that decision. Sometimes I hear women and they're like, oh, I had to give my kid up, or they'll say that their family is raising the child, and it's like, okay, cool. Like that kid's going to be 18 soon, like before you know it. And you still have a chance to have a relationship with that kid. And if you said that you're giving the kid up to have a better situation and a better chance at life, going to college, going to school, all that stuff, then you probably made the right decision. You know, it's better than living in the woods with you. And it is. And they'll understand one day. At least you'll have a chance, you know, get your shit together, stop living in them woods, and you can have a relationship with them kids again. You know, they're still going to be, they came out of your body. You know, you made them. And if you got your shit together, they're going to be proud of you. And they're going to thank you for, wow, I bet that was hard, Mom, giving up your kids to go live in the woods, but then get it together and then pull it together to have a relationship with us like that. But that was hard, you know, and those are the things that big picture kind of stuff that you got to look at sometimes.
And every story's different, and not every story has a happy ending. But one thing's for sure is that nothing's going to have a happy ending if you don't take care of yourself first and get yourself in a better spot. Nothing will be in a better place. No relationships will be in a better place if you don't take care of yourself first and get healthy again for yourself, you know, and then other things can fall into place. Or maybe they don't, but that still means, you know, just know you're worth it regardless.
Yeah. And don't sell yourself short on what's going on today. Meaning, like, don't just focus on what's going on today and can't do nothing about it. Don't look like, I mean, you got to look in the future a little bit. Oh, that gives me anxiety. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, know that if you have a child, there's a good chance you will have a grandchild one day. You have a chance of that. You know, pull your shit together before that happens, is what I'm saying. And you can't get 10 years of sobriety tomorrow unless you have 9 years and 364 days or whatever. Then you probably will. But if you don't, you're not going to get 10 years just tomorrow. I'm not going to have 20 years tomorrow. But you can add it up, you know, and every day you go through life sober, I'm telling you, it's so much better. And the preacher man the other day said some good stuff in church, and I whipped out my phone, started taking notes. You're probably like, he's doing a mock draft in church. It was not.
It's like I'm in the zone when I'm there. So,
but he asked some questions, and they were good ones. What if you really could? What if it really is that good? You know, and I took that as, you know, recovery questions, you know. And this is something that I would ask myself, you know, years ago when I was in the hospital laying there thinking, oh, I just want to die. I'm tired of letting everyone down, you know. And if I looked at myself and said, hey, the sobriety thing, what if you really could do it? Then what? I mean, that would have changed the way I thought about some stuff. You know, I never really believed I could. And what if it really is this good? You know, I would have been like, well, I'm sure it is that good for other people, you know. But what if you really could? And what if it really is that good? And I'm telling you, I can. Anybody can. And yes, it really is this good. And it gets better. Like, in 2 months from now, we can replay this podcast, and I'm just going to be like, oh my God, it got even better. I'm like, go back to that August 9th episode.
yeah.
You know, I had no idea this stuff was going to be happening, and I just won 5 games in a row in fantasy football. I mean, who knows what's going on with us?
Wow, you got high hopes, babe.
Oh, I didn't even want to go through the laundry list of things because I didn't want to jinx nothing. But,
Right.
you know, like, who knows where my life's going to be then? And who knows when your life's going to be? You know, it's going to be so much better. You got me adulting again, you know.
I know.
Doing the credit report thing and calling those people and giving them numbers to put in, to take numbers out of my place that holds numbers, to put it in their place that holds numbers. And it's a game of numbers, man.
Oh my gosh, what an experience.
Yeah.
If you don't call, it's not that if you don't call them that it's not going to be there, right? Well, it's still there. Those debts are still there. They're not going anywhere.
Well, the numbers that I have in my account with numbers, those numbers go down all the time.
Right. No, I meant like.
I thought theirs would make me go down a little.
No, it doesn't work that way.
No, it does not. And I remember when I was buying my house back in 2010 is when I finally closed on. So 2009. I remember like I had to call people on my credit report and be like, look, and I didn't have a lot really, but I had a couple. And then one of them, it was with Geico, or maybe it was Progressive, one of those two. And when I had switched over to one or the other, they were like, okay, we'll take care of the rest. Well, apparently nobody told Progressive that I didn't need their shit anymore. So they just kept billing me, I guess. And I had the other one. Why would I pay that one? And insurance at that time was really hard for me to get, meaning I didn't want to pay for it. I didn't want it. No thanks. And I was drinking so much and spending my money on dumb shit. Like it was not a priority. So I was one of those lapser guys too. But anyway, so that one I was like, I don't owe that. And they're like, well, yeah, we're not going to settle it. Damn it. So I had to pay them. And then the cell phone that I know I did have and I did owe, I called that company to pay them. I'm like, okay, I owe this one. And they're like, well, we can't find this or that, so we're just going to have to write it off and blah, blah, blah. We'll take it off your credit report. And I was like, what? So, yeah, and it was funny. I wish I would have called that one first because that would have made me feel a lot better about having to pay the one that I felt like I shouldn't have to pay. But I called that one second. So I'm like, I guess everything kind of comes out in the wash. But still, it feels good when it's done, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you can move forward with goals. You know, us wanting to buy a place, get a house.
Someday.
Swore I never would buy a house again. But whatever. A little different. We talked about that the other day. I don't know if we were on the podcast when we talked about it. We might have been. But just how it's different.
Yeah.
You know, like it's our goal now.
Right.
You know, it would be our home. Not just something I bought by myself, you know, in my drinking days and destruction.
Yeah.
Like, of course, it wouldn't mean as much. But if it's our home, you know, I think that would mean something.
Yeah.
A lot more. It definitely would.
I'm just tired of apartments. Neighbors.
Yeah.
You don't have a yard.
That's good because you don't have to mow it. But
are you second guessing this?
no, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing out pros and cons, baby. We made that list the other day. But no, that's a small con because we can always pay somebody to do that.
Oh my God.
What?
No,
That's what you
I will
do.
mow the lawn.
How much lawnmowers are? You could probably get a good
You
year.
know how much does have somebody mow your lawn?
$100 a month.
Okay, well, it's an investment and it's a workout. So
But that's only in some months.
we're
It's not like you got to mow it it's not like
oh my goodness. No, okay.
Armando had this good Mexican guy when I lived in Arkansas.
All right. Well, at least we don't have to make that decision
You need
today.
4 times a month. I was like, no, just 3. 4 times? No, 3. They'd be at 5 a.m. Just that's all I'd hear. Look outside. Just be dust flying.
What kind of lawnmower do they have?
It was a spaceship, I think.
Yes, sounds
They
like
just
a race
knocked it
car.
out, man. I was like, I think I should pay you guys less because you do such a great job and you're so quick. I was too drunk. I didn't think about that, but yeah. Like, nope. If you're gonna be here, and I'm
You just sounded
paying
like
you
just a treat.
$100 a month, you're gonna spend at least an hour on it each time.
Yeah, very aware.
Now, not no in and out job like you've been doing. Yeah, you're cutting it just fine and everything's perfect, but still, I want you to kick some dirt, walk around, spending my money, earn it.
I know how
That's what's up. You
to
know what
mow
I'm
a
saying?
lawn. It's not that difficult.
It could be. Right now, there's a lawn care service out there that's cussing you.
There's a lady that is in the neighborhood by my work, where I drive to go to like my main office. And this lady must be like, I don't even know, late 70s. She's out there. She mows her lawn like every 4 days.
You think we should get her then? Is that what you're saying?
All I'm saying is you can manage is what I'm saying.
Well, we need to have some kids and then we send them out there to do it. Dad, I can't get the lawnmower to start. I don't know what to tell you.
I'll put that on.
I've never started it, son or daughter. Kick it. Call your mother.
Wow.
Yeah. Just saying. It's not my thing.
I hear that.
Doing podcasts, making some videos with horrible screens in the back. That's my thing. Mowing yards, not so much. Could I do it? Yeah. I'd rather clean your bathroom or mop the floor or do some laundry.
Okay. I'm glad we should be writing this down.
You should. Well, no, because I'll remember it. Trust me.
Okay.
I'm like, I was going to get on that lawn right after I get done with these whites. I got a load of towels I got to do. Still got to put Adam's video together. Still messing with the background. I'm like, honey, that's 5 years ago. I'm like, I know. It's going to be really good, though, when I get it done. Wasn't that supposed to be
you're
done?
you're very good at the things that you do. Yes. So we'll deal with the lawn thing when we finally get the house.
And the video will be done by the 13th.
There you go. Decisions are final.
Or on the 13th. Yeah. So anyway, that's all I got today. And I mean, I rambled quite a bit. If there's anything you want to chime in with, any else?
No, today was a good day. My midweek is always crazy. It's like it starts off not so difficult, and then it's just like insanely busy, and then it always ends pretty easily towards the end of the week. It's like, so my midweek is super stressful, but it's one of the things where you're like, just get through it and then look forward to the weekend.
Cool. I'm going to have this lady on from New Zealand. I guess our friend James Deere from Break the Chain. Mm-hmm. It's a nonprofit he started over there. And it's funny because he reached out to me, James Deere did, and he was like, hey, man, you're doing good things. I like what you're doing. Can you give me some advice? And we chatted and we talked. And I remember I did the same thing when I was starting this podcast. I looked for recovery podcasts and I reached out to some that I had heard that I thought, all right, these guys aren't too bad, and asked them if they could talk to me about it, and nobody did. One guy said, sure, and then never wrote me back after that. And I wrote him back, hey, is this a good time? And I think we actually had a time or something, and the dude never called and nothing. So I thought, well, that's kind of a shitty thing to do, but whatever. But no, so James, I talked to him, and this woman, I guess she said that James recommended that she call me and, get on the podcast and tell her story. And I was like, all right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but the time zone there is crazy. They're like 2 days ahead of us or something. It's nuts. So we'll have to figure that out. I told her I was going to get back with her today, but I think today is actually Thursday or Wednesday.
Okay, that's not a thing, but I'm sure you can sort it out.
Time ahead of us. Like a whole day ahead of us. So it's weird. So yeah, I have to get that figured out. And then I saw a guy, he posted, Andy O'Reilly, he posted on his Facebook that he had 19 years clean. And Andy, I don't know him, but I know of him. He worked for Clear Channel or iHeartMedia at the same time I did. He was in Muskegon and I was in Fort Smith. And I think I reached out to him. Well, I know I did because I saw the message before I sent it to him back in the day saying, hey, what's going on there? Are there any openings or something about Grand Rapids or moving back to Michigan or something? I was always trying to move back to Michigan from Arkansas. And anyway, he said he had 19 years and, like when he moved there, he was trying to get away from people. And I don't know. I think his story is going to be very similar, some of the things that he's going to say about being in radio. And then him having so much time, he doesn't work in radio now, but him having so much time sober while he was in radio, I bet he had that same kind of wake up that I did when I had that small stint of being sober, like, oh my God, how easy is this? And how fun is this? And how great is this? Mm-hmm. But it'll be interesting to talk to him. But I sent him the message and told him congrats and told him what we do and stuff, and told him that we don't do the podcast to make money. It's not about, hey man, can you come on the show so I can make money off you? It's not like that, but it's something that helps people and it helps me. And he's like,
that'd
yeah, man.
be awesome.
He's like, absolutely.
He said yes?
Yeah, he's like, let's set that up. I said, okay.
Oh, I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, maybe look for that on Thursday or something.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, a couple guests. Are you happy about that?
I am.
Love when I have guests on.
I want to hear from other people.
Yeah. Well, you need to do an interview.
That's not my thing.
You're gonna be out there mowing.
Yeah.
Well, when we get the house, sure, but we have an apartment
No,
right
I
now.
have
You don't
other
have to mow anything.
things.
Go help that old lady.
I have so many other things that I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, I better see you do a fantasy mock draft then or something. Do something productive with your time, woman.
Oh my God.
Man.
I want to throw you out the window right now.
I bet you do. I saw those eyes you were giving me. Because I'm chewing gum. I'm trying not to vape
Okay.
during the podcast. Because I heard one podcast and that's all they're like. I was like, damn. I remember, like, even when we vape back in the day on the podcast, and I still do every once in a while, but like back in the day, my mom like, I hear you guys vaping in the background, but we never were like purposely like just be like holding it up to the mic like, unless we were like joking, but
Yeah.
like we tried to hit it off to the side or something, like that. It was a little bit like, but now this person was like just. I was like, oh, that's so distracting. So see what people are saying. So, hence the gum.
There, that's better.
Just kidding. I'm not going to chomp the gum like that, hopefully. But thanks for listening. 217recovery.com, full of resources, them vigias. So Jerry Jones says it. Owner of the Cowboys. Gonna get me some glory hole. Look for that video if you want something fun to pass around your friends. Jerry Jones saying that the Cowboys are going to get the glory hole, and he wants some of that glory hole. Could be the meme of the day. But anyway, videos, my point, website, 217recovery.com, resources. There you go. Get the app. Thanks for listening. Talk to you Thursday.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Win a bunch of free shit from 217 Recovery. Go to the app or the website, 217recovery.com.